Hola, hola. Happy Saturday. This is a surprise. I am not scheduled to go live this time of the day. So let's see who pops in, and y'all can tell me whether or not this is too dark and I can figure out how to turn on more lights in here. I am coming to you live from Cancun, Mexico, as the cover image of this video would indicate. I'm gonna give it a few more seconds to see if anybody else is going to pop in. We are celebrating today, July 2nd. We are celebrating, and I thought I would be, impromptu, spur of the moment, and would go live. I am in Cancun, Mexico, because I am attending the Exodus Summit meetup. The first event was last night. It was great. It was fabulous. Tomorrow, we'll be out on a boat in the beautiful waters between Cancun and Isla Mujeres. And Mia's here too. I don't know. Mia, y'all see her back there? I am really digging this hotel. Incredibly pet friendly. We did not expect them to provide a dog bed, and they did. It was a surprise when we came in, and Miss Thing is enjoying it. So yeah. If you are tuning into this for the first time or you're watching this on the replay, thank you for joining me. My name is Adelia Borachade. Most people know me on the internet as Picky Girl Travels the World. I have been living abroad for almost 6 years. Next month, July 23rd, will make 6 years. And I have made it my mission to help other Black women live the life of their dreams. And I do that by helping them become educated about their finances. I help them learn how to master their money, how to develop financial confidence. So that's what I do. And I am in Cancun, Mexico at the moment, but I live in the greatest city in the world, Mexico City, Mexico. And I just thought I'd pop in here. We could celebrate and celebrate, ask some questions, answer some questions. I don't know, y'all. This is going to be kind of whatever y'all want to talk about today on Saturday morning. Thank you, Winnie. And for the folks that are like, what are we celebrating? We are celebrating that this YouTube channel has 10,000 followers. I started YouTube. My first YouTube video went up February 14th, 2021. So we're almost... Oh gosh, I should not be trying to do math this early in the morning. Almost at a year and a half and 10,000 followers. For someone like me, who is an introverted introvert, who absolutely did not want to do YouTube, I am blown away by there being 10,000 subscribers to this channel. I know that is not a super big number, but again, I never wanted to do YouTube. Like, I was vehemently opposed to it. So it's wild that there are that many. And y'all know who we have to thank for this. Miss Stephanie Perry. Hold on. I think it's dark over here. Let me go turn on the lights. Hold on. I don't even know if that helped. I don't know if that helped. Yeah, so that's who we have to thank for this, Miss Stephanie Perry, who kept being in my ear about needing to be on YouTube, because I'd actually started my podcast, the Picky Girl Travels podcast, um, May May 20th. May 15th. I don't know, sometime in May in 2020. And I was like, I could do a podcast. I can talk. That way I don't have to be on camera. And Stephanie just stayed in my ear and was like, you need to be on YouTube. You need to be on YouTube. So we're here on YouTube, and there are 10,000 of you here with me. And so we said we were going to celebrate. And so that's what we're here doing. I had planned to have a relaxing beverage, but my journey here to Cancun did not quite go as planned. And so the alcohol's coming probably when I finish doing this. We wanted to go live from the beach. If you'll see the thumbnail picture for this video, we were out at the beach, but the Wi-Fi signal, if I could be far enough away from where they were playing music, because if there's music in the background, YouTube will demonetize the video. So if I got far enough away from where there was music, I was too far from the Wi-Fi, which is why we ended up back in the room here. But don't worry, y'all. Mia and I will be hitting the beach shortly. This hotel, my room didn't quite turn out the way I wanted to, but the as far as the pet friendliness of this hotel, they have been great. I even have, what did I do with it? Oh, here it is. There's a sign you put up on the door to let the cleaning staff know that you've left your dog inside. So many hotels that will allow you to bring your dog won't let you leave them in the room. They brought her a bed. There is like a pet drinking station. She's allowed to go everywhere as long as she is on a leash. She can't get in the pool, which is fine because Mia is not about that life. But this turned out really well. But so we couldn't go live from the beach as we had planned. So y'all will have to just trust me that it is beautiful. Also, the other thing we are celebrating is the fact that I am in Essence magazine. I know. That's wild. That is wild. If you have not seen it on page, I believe it's 93. On page 93 in the July, August, and of course now I can't find page numbers. In the July, August edition of Essence, they are featuring Black Travel Awards, and then there's me right there. So in one weekend, we hit 10,000 subscribers on this channel. We were featured in Essence magazine. Miss Mia is here living it up in Cancun. I don't know if y'all follow me on Instagram. Those of you who do know the saga of us trying to get from Mexico City to Cancun, and they would not seat me on the plane because they were like, you don't have a seat, but the dog had a seat. So yeah, Miss Mia is really here living her best life. So, what do y'all want to talk about? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just feeling celebratory, and I didn't want to just celebrate by myself, which is why I came on here to kick it with y'all. Thank you all for your congratulations. And Ain't this the truth, Maria? Look at all that's going on in the world. I'm open to celebrating anything. I hear you. You know, July, this is we're halfway through the year, last 6 months of the year. If there are goals that you had, like you got 6 months to get to getting to take care of those. Um, I did an episode on the podcast. Um, I don't know, maybe a month ago. Yeah, it was at the beginning of June. Like I was very, very reflective and got to thinking about my goals and where I was with them. And if you listen to that podcast, you know that one of the things I was supposed to be doing was yoga every day. And am proud to report that I'm handling that. So if we look at I was going to say, if we look at on my phone, I don't know that y'all can see it, but this is my vision board. And right there, you can see the lady doing yoga. So I can check that box like I'm on the path of where I'm supposed to be with that. Oh, excuse me. My eyeball was itching. I got sand all over me for the brief amount of time I was outside. That's another reason doing this from outside was going to be a struggle. It's been a while since I have lived in such a hot, humid climate, and I forgot just how easily I sweat. I literally walked outside. I wasn't even directly in the sun, and all of a sudden, just all this sweat. That would not have been cute. That would not have been cute at all. I don't know what the ladies of Exodus have planned. Um, to quote Miss Rashida Dow, that's a third quarter question. That's what she says to me anytime I ask, like, when are we doing this? Or when is this happening? She's like, that's a third quarter question, which means that's the only answer I'm going to get. I will say that Picky Girl Travels the World, Picky Girls Travel Solo, which I didn't even mention if there was somebody new watching this and you didn't know. Not only am I a proponent of Black women mastering their money so that they can live the life of their dreams, I am also a big proponent of solo travel. And I have a solo travel Facebook group. And we are probably going to be doing a very, very small, very, very informal meetup in September. Nothing on the scale of what Rashida and Stephanie from Exodus Summit are doing this weekend. Because y'all know I am an introverted introvert. I can't, I don't have all of that in me, but I thought it might be a good idea. It'll be stateside. It'll be stateside. I am finally going to be in the US for like leisure travel kind of thing. And so I thought, why not, get together with some folks? So September, we're probably going to do something, but I'm not sure what the ladies from Exodus Summit are going to be doing. Although I spent 41 years living in Houston, Texas, I have not lived there in almost 6 years. Do y'all know that the high temperature in Mexico City is probably like 71? There is virtually no humidity and the low is in the 50s. Like I've been living that life. So I forgot all about this heat and humidity life. It's not for me. It's not for me. So if y'all want to celebrate, like Star Child, I have 6 months to declutter my home and sell all the extra stuff because you getting up out of there. We're going to celebrate that too. Maria hired an immigration lawyer to move to my dream country. Okay. I love hearing that. I am happy for anyone who is taking steps to start living the life they want. Because y'all, life is short. Life is short. And from everything I can tell, you only get one shot at this. So um, why not try and make it as much of what it is that you want while you can? So yeah. So I don't know. Y'all got any questions about I can't really answer questions about Cancun. I had been to Cancun one time previously, but that was like in 1999. And this is a very different place from what it looked like back then. But I could answer your questions on traveling with a dog. Um, I could answer I don't know what questions I could answer. I really don't. Because as far as things to do here in Cancun, I don't plan to do any of them. I there is a Mayan culture museum that I was going to try to do, but I lose all what do you call it? Motivation as soon as I walk out into the heat and start sweating. So I don't know that that's going to happen. Likely what's going to happen when Miss Thing gets up from her nap is we will head out to the beach, which is right outside. I don't know if y'all can, well, I know y'all can't see it, but let's see if I can show y'all. The beach is right on the other side of there. So we're probably going to head out to the beach. I'm going to have a book. I'm going to have a drink. And that's probably how I'm going to end up spending today, not doing anything at all. So will I show more of Cancun? I will show y'all some of the stuff that I see, which is probably going to be palm trees and the beach. The beach is lovely, white, fluffy sand. There is no, what is that stuff called? Sargassum, whatever that seaweed is. There's none of that. If you're out there, there's a nice little breeze. You just shouldn't try and move. So yeah, so I don't know how much there's going to be to show. Have any international travel plans in the next 6 months? Actually, I do. So the next 6 months will take us to the end of this year. In the before times, I would literally get jittery. I would get jumpy if I did not have at least one trip planned a month. It was not unusual for me to have an international trip 10, 12 months a year, because like I was going. And then, of course, we all know COVID showed up and showed out. And my experience getting delayed in Europe, because at the time I was living in China, and then my experience getting stuck in China when it was time for me to leave, made me very apprehensive about travel to any place I was not willing to be stuck. So from July 2020 till now, July 2020 until December 2021, I really hadn't done any what I would consider international travel. I moved from China back to Mexico. I took a couple of quick hops over to the US so I could vote. So I could help my daughter out, when my grandson was born in February. So other than popping over to the US really quickly and popping back, I didn't do any international travel until December 2021. Now, knowing what I know now, I don't know if I would have done it, because if y'all are thinking, this was at the height of Omicron. And I had, A girlfriend of mine, we always go somewhere. We do something Christmas and New Year's. And previously, because of the pandemic, we hadn't gone international. And we were like, oh, yeah, we're going to go to Italy. We should not have. I've made, I think, at least 2 videos on this channel about the trauma of traveling that time of year, trying to keep straight the different entry requirements and testing requirements, because I was going to take Mia with me to Italy because Italy is super dog friendly. But I was like, I'm struggling enough trying to make sure I can get in and out of the country like I needed to. I don't know how I'm going to do this with a dog. So my first international trip since the pandemic started was December, January, this past, when I went to Italy. Now, since then, I'm almost back to where I used to be, like a trip every month. I think I have kind of done a trip every other month. I went to Panama. I went to Morocco this year. Did I go somewhere? I went to the US, but that doesn't really count. I'm here. And so the question is, I'm getting back to your question. The question is, what about the rest of the year? Okay, so I'm probably going to hit up a couple of places in Mexico. Y'all seen the reports. You see how crazy it is right now to be traveling. I don't want none of that. Okay, so the bulk of my travel will be in Mexico until September. I'll be stateside, which is why Piggy Girls Travel Solo will probably do a little meetup. Very informal, y'all. I don't want anybody getting their hopes up. This is going to be very informal, just kind of a kickback. October, I may be going somewhere for Day of the Dead. I don't know. I'm going to El Salvador in December, and I feel like there's another trip in there. Oh, in September, I'm going to the US, and then I'm going to springboard from the US to Europe, and I'm going to hit Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. And then I'll go to El Salvador, and I'm not sure if I'm going anywhere else. I feel like there's another trip in there somewhere that I'm not remembering, but that is quite possible. So other than stateside, what country is next on my list? And y'all got to know, my list is like everywhere. I'm trying to get my life together to figure out what I'm going to be doing in Scandinavia. I've only been to Iceland in that part of the world so far. So I just know I'm going, but I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know none of that. This is trickier now. If you have a large animal, it's a little trickier now because airlines, for whatever reason, stopped flying or limited their flights for animals and cargo because of the pandemic. And I don't know that they've all come back from that. But then you add on top of it the staffing shortages, blah, blah, blah. And then there are some places, some countries where you can't take an animal and cargo during the summer because of the temperatures. It can be done, but doing it right now definitely is a bit more stressful. And I know a lot of people are looking at private pet travel services as a result. So yeah, Mia, I have it a little easier because Mia weighs 10 pounds. But when you have a bigger dog, you have to be a little bit better about that. The air conditioning. Mia wanted to go out on the patio today, and I opened the doors, and I feel bad like running the AC and having those open. And so I turned the AC off. And after a while, I was like, girl, you got to come back inside so I can close the door so I can turn the AC back on. That's I'm very spoiled. Mexico City has spoiled me. After I first moved to Mexico City in 2017, like 2 months after that, I had a trip to Southeast Asia. I went to Thailand, Cambodia, Malaysia, Singapore, and I feel like there was another country in there, or maybe I went to Malaysia 2 different times in that trip. And I had been to Thailand before, so I remember how hot it was. But that heat smacked me in the face, and I was like, "Yeah, you've been wearing long sleeves in Mexico City, and now you come to this." And Mia, poor little thing, she's like super cold. I was like, maybe when we're in the AC, I was like, maybe I should have brought your sweater. Um, it's wild. It's wild. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank y'all all for the congratulations. Have I been to St. Croix? No, I don't typically choose beach destinations because I don't like the heat. I don't particularly like sand either. And I don't want to get into the ocean. I want to look at the ocean, which is probably how we're going to spend the afternoon. I want to, but I don't. So if it's up to me to choose a destination, it is rarely going to be a beach place. Rarely, unless there is some event happening or there's some specific reason. So I've never been, but I hear it is lovely. Places that I wouldn't mind getting stuck. Huh. I don't know. I think more about places I do mind getting stuck. So, like, I would not visit China because I don't want to be stuck there ever again. I don't know. Um, the US is not a place that I would not mind being stuck. So, like, that's one of the reasons I have limited my time in the US. Since the pandemic started, because I didn't want to get stuck there. Um, I could have gotten stuck in Italy. I could have gotten stuck. I'm not sure how much weight I would have gained because I ate like I had no common sense when I was in Italy. That was the most delicious trip I have ever taken. Um, let's see, where else? I wouldn't want to get stuck any place hot. Um, I don't know. That's a really good question. And I hadn't thought about it. It was just more of a case by case. Like if I saw a flight deal before I would jump on it, I'd have to think to myself, now, is this someplace you want to be? So again, I'm thinking about places I would not want to be stuck. Like when I went to Panama in March, and my friend who I was visiting, they all got COVID. And so I opted not to stay there and to get a hotel room because the Panamanian government, you had to report positive tests to them. And I didn't want there to be a problem when it was time for me to leave and the government be like, oh, you've been staying with these people who were all positive. You haven't stayed long enough, that sort of thing. That's a good question. I don't have a good answer, but that's a good question. Am I taking one-on-one calls this weekend? No, I am not, but you can still sign up for them if you want some help specifically with your issues when it comes to your finances or moving abroad. You can book a one-on-one call with me on my website, pickygirltravelstheworld.com. There is a link for where you can do that. You can also do that here. So you can schedule a one-on-one session, but I am not doing any. This what we're doing right now, this is as close as it's going to be as far as work this weekend. So no, I'm not taking any calls this weekend. I am trying to limit the work. I just want to veg out and not do anything and hang out with my dog. I want to take a trip to Mexico City in August. Mexico City in August is great. Any hotels or flight tips? Flight tips, especially if you're coming from the US, if you can book a direct flight, that will be your best friend. Hotel tips, I would say don't stay by the airport. I didn't know that people didn't know not to do that until I ran into some people who did, and they were like, "Yeah, I'm staying by the airport." The That's not where you want to be. That's not where the action is. Maybe look at a hotel in the Reforma area, because that kind of puts you central to a lot of the stuff you want to see. Or maybe even a hotel in Coyoacan if you want like a really, really chill vibe. Um, but you can also, there's some cute hotels in downtown Mexico City, and again in Centro Historico. That's still fairly centrally located too. um yeah, I think that's all I got for hotel tips. But flight tips right now, if it's not a direct flight, I wouldn't want it. I would not want it. um I visited Lisbon on my Christmas New Year's trip in 2016. And this is when I was living in Honduras, which I always knew from the jump was never going to be the place for me. And remember telling my friend, like, oh, this place is cute. Like, it's Europe, but it's not super cold in the winter. There were so many Black and brown people who were not all on the fringes of society, like I had seen so many times in different European countries. So, like, that was one of the first things I saw and was like, oh, I could do this. And then I tried to speak Portuguese. So I would go to Lisbon again. Um, but this world that we're living in right now with these crazy flight prices and all of that, um, I'm I am letting the deal dictate where I go. The reason I am going to Norway is because I found a round trip ticket for $248. So I would go to Lisbon again, and eventually I will. I enjoyed my time there. I really suck at Portuguese, but definitely a place I would visit again. And if a flight deal comes up, maybe sooner rather than later. Um, I cannot recommend a hotel in Roma because I don't even know that there are hotels in Roma, and there are. The thing is about Roma Norte and Roma Sur and Mexico City is when you're walking, it's not like in the US where you can tell that it's a hotel because the building looks different. There's a big giant sign. That part of the city, Roma Norte and Roma Sur, they're not a lot of hotels. I like the Roosevelt Hotel, but I don't even know if that's a nice hotel or not. It's just the only building I can recall seeing that had the words hotel on it. Um, there's but there are a lot of boutique hotels in Roma Norte and Roma Sur, and they're gorgeous. I just don't know any by name, because most people who stay there often are staying in what do you call them, Airbnbs and that sort of thing. So I can't really be of help on that. Sorry. Um, how do you plan all these trips? Like, what's your itinerary? That's an excellent question. Honestly, unless there are very specific things I want to see, like I still need to get to DC, and I may do this in September when I'm stateside because I want to visit the Smithsonian, the African American Smithsonian Museum. So I would specifically construct that trip around that thing I want to do. But normally I buy a ticket. Usually it's because I found a flight deal, and then I start to figure out, okay, so where do I want to stay in the city? That's going to put me closest to the stuff I want to see. And then I see, are there things I want to see? Or is this going to be a place where I just kind of wander around and wander in and out of pastry shops? Because that's still a vibe for me. Um, am not somebody who has to have every moment scheduled. So it just depends on once a location has been decided, and typically it's because of some sort of flight deal, or like here to Cancun, I have an event. So I was coming because of the event, found a hotel that was pet friendly, and then looked at, well, what are the things that I am willing to do? Because there's a lot of stuff I don't want to do, and go from there. What was it? In January 2020, 28 days, I did something like 10 cities and 8 countries. And there it was, again, after I figured out where I was going, what is there to do, pick and choose. Um, I don't know. I guess I go on vibes. There's no science to it. It is there a good place for hot chocolate? Because that will get added to my itinerary. Is there a thermal bath, a thermal pool, uh, a great place I can get a massage? And is there good stuff to eat? Are there museums? I ask these questions, and based on what I find, I kind of go from there. Now, the tool that I use as I'm pulling together my plans is TripIt. It's an app, but you can also access it through a website. That is where I organize everything, including like I'm going to wander around this neighborhood from 10 to 2. I will put that on TripIt so that I can share my itinerary with my people, with Team Adelia, in case anything happens, they know where they can find me. But I don't do a lot of planning unless there's something specific, like when I took Rashida to Oaxaca for her birthday. Now that itinerary, I did have to do more planning because we had a very short time frame, and I wanted to kind of give her a diversified culinary experience in Oaxaca because it's known for its food. But a lot of times I just be going on vibes. Really. Rhonda, you're not late. I'm in Cancun because I'm attending the Exodus Summit meetup. But yeah, I didn't tell anybody I was going live. This was just all very casual. So we're just kicking it for a little while before I go outside and sit on the beach. I just visited Iceland on a 22-hour layover in May and feel like I need to revisit. See, I did like 4 days in Iceland. It was in March, and was like, I need to go. I want to be there. Like you went in May when it was warmer. I want to go when it's warmer. I'm hoping to go like during the summer, although that's high season, and Iceland is already expensive even in low season. But I would love to be in that part of the world for the summer solstice, where it's basically 24 hours of sunlight. Iceland is one of the few places that I'm like, I want to go there again. Normally I go to a place I'm one and done, but I would go back to Iceland. Here's the thing. If you're in these locations and you're doing nothing, does that matter? I don't think it does. I don't think it does. How you travel is completely up to you. What feels good. I think this is tied to, like, in the US, we have this thing where we have to be doing something. We've got to be productive, and like it's okay to just go to another country, another city, and just vibe and be there. You don't have to always be doing something. You can just be, or at least that's my travel philosophy. So I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing. I didn't know about the book fair in Guadalajara. Sharon, do you happen to know the name of this book fair? Because I need to give Guadalajara another try because it did not wow me when I went in 2019. And a book fair is a good enough reason for me to go back. Is there a specific time of the year when air pollution is at the highest in Mexico City? Definitely during the dry season. I'd probably say like April, May, because there isn't rain. Um, or at least that's the time of year in my memory when we had most of the environmental contingencies, like where they limit which cars can drive on a given day because of the ozone, because of the pollution, that sort of thing. So if you're sensitive to air quality, coming to Mexico City during the rainy season will be a rainy season, early fall, winter, it'll be better for you. But after like February, I wouldn't do it. I would try and hit it during the rainy season. So, oops. Hey, y'all, look who's here. Yvonne McBride, who's the person who wrote the thing about me that's in the Essence magazine. Uh, No, I am not staying at the hotel with everybody else because I was traveling with my dog. And I'm going to be real with y'all. Cancun is not as dog friendly as Mexico City is. So my options of which hotels would allow the dog limited my list. And then many of these places were like, yes, you can bring your dog, but you can never leave them in the room. And we're going to charge you $200 a night for the privilege of having your animal with you. And no. So I don't think anybody from the meetup is staying near where I am. And that's cool. It's easy to take the bus down the street if you want to see anybody. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, there's a conversation in the chat. Okay, so the event this weekend is an Exodus Summit event. It is an official event. It is their first in-person event since Exodus Summit started. However, it is a meetup. The actual summit will probably be like September, October. That's when it's been the last couple of years. This is a meetup. As somebody mentioned, that was originally going to be in Turkey over Easter, but because of the geopolitical situation, they didn't really want to be having people go to that part of the world. So this was plan B. So this is a very casual meetup. This is not like an official summit. It's just, Black women getting together in community. A lot of folks who want to move abroad or who want to take a sabbatical or who want to become a digital nomad, folks in their circle don't support them. So if you are a Black woman and you are looking to move abroad, this weekend you're getting to connect with a whole bunch of other Black women who are on the same page with you. Maybe you can find somewhere somebody who's going to the same place and y'all can work together and be accountability partners, that kind of thing. So it's more like a community building event than the actual summit. LLO. Okay. Armanic Suites. This is a place I suggest because this is actually the only hotel I've ever stayed at in Mexico City. And I like it. Like I stayed there while I was in between an Airbnb and getting my actual apartment. And I remember looking around the room like, I wonder if they would rent this as an apartment. It is in the Reforma area. And they cater to business travelers, but it's a nice vibe. So I'm glad to hear somebody else enjoyed staying there as well. Halisi, flight prices. Is this just this summer that the flight prices are bad? Or is this kind of a bigger thing that the Lisbon airport isn't a great place to travel from internationally? Because that was one of the lessons I learned when I moved to Honduras, that just because an airport has the word international in its name doesn't mean it's a true international airport. And if it's not, you're going to pay a whole lot to travel from that place. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, you live in Norway, 2 hours south of Oslo. All I know so far is I will fly into Oslo. Outside of that, I got no plans made. And I probably should get up on that. DC is a great place for a meetup, but that's not where it's going to happen. I am going to hopefully try and squeeze in. I'm literally going to pop into DC to go to the museum, and then I'm going to go to the airport. But no, DC would be a great place for a meetup. It really would be. Aw, thank you. Oh, okay. It says super sticker. I don't know what I thought it said. Oh, because I'm looking at this through StreamYard, and my StreamYard is in Spanish, and so it says super tiqueta. I guess tiqueta is a sticker. So then when I saw it on the screen, I was like, super sticker. That's not what it said over here, but okay. I'm done being confused, y'all. I'm done being confused. Yes. I don't I don't think there are any rules. I don't like rules. I'm learning that about myself. Not a fan of rules. Not a fan of people telling me this is how you got to do something. Uh yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Speaking of hot chocolate, I sit down at breakfast, and of course they're like, "Do you want to have coffee?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "But do y'all have hot chocolate?" And she was like, "Yeah." And instantly she came back with this mug of piping hot chocolate. And I was impressed because normally it takes a minute to make. It's not, I didn't think it was a common thing. And then when I got up to go to the buffet, you know how they have those big kettles of like soup? They had one of hot chocolate. So this place, I mean, between what they're doing for Mia and having hot chocolate on tap, we're good. We're good. Um, I Here's the thing. I think you can travel for whatever reason you want. When January 2020, when I was bopping around Europe, as I did the mandatory what to do in blank country or things to do in blank country, someplace I have started to always go with best hot chocolate in blank city. And let me tell y'all, you know what the best? Oh, first of all, European hot chocolate is, I love Mexican hot chocolate, but European hot chocolate is literally hot chocolate decadence, let me tell you. And the city that was killing everybody in the hot chocolate game, Budapest, Hungary. I'll go back simply because of that. Because I found a place, they had an unlimited menu of options of hot chocolate. Because I asked for a menu, she was like, "No, just tell us whatever you want and we will make it." So, like, if you wanted uh, dark chocolate with caramel and rum, like literally you could order any combination. It was incredible. And I would go back simply for that. All right, Miss K Bates, we celebrating with you too. Got temporary residence in March, got rid of all my furniture in April, did family graduations in May, getting the house ready for sale, waiting on the house to sell, and we out. I love to see it. I love to see it. Um, ba, ba, ba. Oops, I just skipped somebody. Okay, here we go. Yeah, flights are high. And the people who work in various sectors that go with travel, I understand why they are protesting. Here's a link, y'all. If you're contemplating traveling and you have not read this article on how to avoid travel nightmares, you need to, because he does such a good job of explaining what's going on. It is normally an article behind a paywall, but it's available for free right now. Uh, Read this article because it makes so much sense why we're seeing the nonsense we're seeing now, because basically the airlines are all in it for the money. Every move they make is for the money, and they don't think about, like, can we do this? Can we maintain our same level of service if we do this thing? No, it's like, can we make a lot of money? Okay, we will do that. Thanks, Dion. Thank you, thank you. Aw, Monica, thank you for the super sticker, super chat. Okay. Lisbon to Cancun was expensive. Lisbon Airport is definitely not, is a hub, but not Porto. Okay. So yeah. Um, that's that's another reason why Mexico City makes sense for me, even though they have built the Mexico City airport situation. Mexico City International Airport, Benito Juarez International Airport, has been over capacity for years. There have been various schemes to build other airports to alleviate it. There is an airport in Toluca, which is northwest of the city, about 45 minutes, that never really took off for whatever reason. I can't find that. And there was always talk about building another one. The last president started that program. The current president was like, this airport you building is a scam. It's a ripoff. There's so much corruption. We're gonna squash that, and we're gonna build this new one, which I'm sure there was corruption and all that involved. Okay, but this new airport is like 2 hours outside of Mexico City. They didn't build any transit to go out there. It's a mess. So much so that last night I saw an article where they were saying they're going to revive the airport in Toluca because people are like, there's no way in hell I'm driving out to the new airport. I think it's Felipe Angeles. They're like, no way in hell. Whereas I live 20 minutes from Benito Juarez, Mexico, International Airport. So, like, I love that. And there is mass transit. It's very easy to get to for me. So, yeah. No, my ticket to Norway. Now, let me preface this because I don't want anybody thinking like, oh my gosh, Adelia's out here getting these killer deals. No, Norse Airways is a brand new budget airline that was running. They only fly out of 4 cities in the US, 2 in Florida, New York, and I can't think of what the fourth one was. And they were running like one-way flights between New York and Oslo for like $120. Literally, all I get is a seat on the plane. I do not get checked bags. I do not get food. I think I might get water. And you can add those things, but even with the upgraded ticket, it didn't include alcohol. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do this bare bottoms bones ticket. I'll eat before I get on the plane. I always got snacks in my bag. So my ticket is very cheap, but there are no extras with it, no extras at all. And I travel like that a lot because to me, it's more important that I get there. If I can go more places for the same amount of money. Sorry about that. If I can go more places and make my money stretch, I don't mind, going on a budget. Thank you, Asia. Thank you for the congratulations. Thank you again, Comfort. Um, okay. The Guadalajara International Book Fair, second largest in the world. Okay. I will have to Google this and find out more about it. Okay. So it's the end of November, beginning of December. Beginning of December, I'll be in El Salvador. So, we will see. Um, Thank you, Rhonda. It gets to me after YouTube takes their cut. How much their cut is, I don't remember, but it does eventually get to me. Yeah, flight prices are stupid right now. So, um, I'm looking at the time and realizing that we've been on here celebrating for about an hour. And I think that's a lot. Okay, I'm curious for those of you that are in the US, what's the vibe like this weekend? Because I know Independence Day is on Monday. Are folks like celebrating? Are people like, bump celebrating, let's go protest? What's the vibe in the US this weekend? I'm curious. I love this. That's I was thinking this would be the perfect weekend for protests, because everybody's seen the meme going around like, I don't think America deserves a birthday party because of the way it's been acting, or Fourth of July Independence Day is canceled because of lack of independence. Um, so I would think, like, is there anything more truly American than protests? If you think about how the country was founded and that, like, I would think this would be the weekend to have all the protests, but maybe not. Maybe people just like, eh, eh. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I could see this. I could see this. Uh, will there be a part three of the financial questions? There isn't a current plan for it. I had solicited questions, money questions, and I intended that to be one episode, one show, and we got to talking. I couldn't finish them, so it turned into two. At this moment, I don't think there'll be a part three, but I reserve the right to change my mind. uh oh, that's right, Essence Fest is this weekend, so if you black, like, that's always been the thing to do. You know um the first weekend in July. So yeah, I could see that. um I totally can agree why black folks would not feel like celebrate, let alone celebrating America of all places, because America's been showing its ass. So yeah, say NYC is quiet, no fireworks. Yeah, I would have thought this would be, if folks were going to organize protests, I would have thought that this would be a really good weekend. Everybody's a lot of people are off on Monday. Like, that's what I would think, but what do I know? Okay. What's on the meetup schedule for today? Officially nothing. There are only two official events as part of the Exodus Summit meetup. Yesterday night, there was a meet and greet event. I took Mia, and she enjoyed herself and got to hang out with the ladies. And then tomorrow there is a catamaran day tour snorkeling thing. But because it's a meetup, a lot of ladies are getting together and connecting on their own. And like, I know there was a group that went snorkeling today. There's some people going to visit Playa. So it's a lot of time to be around other women and then connect with them. But I am an introverted introvert, and I have connected with enough folks for the moment. So yeah. So yeah. But there's nothing officially on the docket today. So yeah, for me, I'm just gonna go read a book. Okay. I'm over it too. No. I'm talking about the folks who this is their thing to fight for. Um, Everybody, a lot of people on Facebook I saw were posting that story about Taraji P. Henson talking about she looking to live somewhere else. Like, I have marched, I have done this, I'm tired. Y'all know that's been me. No more so than in 2020 when and Halisi and I have talked about this, where I look back and was like, I did all the things y'all said to do, like to be a good Black person. And these are the things that should have happened, and ain't shit changed. America looks a lot like it did 50, 60 years ago. So no, I'm, you see where I live. I also, because I gave 20 years of my life to public education. That's primarily the way that I fought, because I fought to educate folks and to inspire and do all that, and I don't have any more to give. So no, I'm not thinking y'all should be out there protesting. I'm saying them, those people who are responsible for making the changes, because it's not our fight. You can't ask the oppressed people to fight to change the system that oppresses them. The people who are doing the oppressing, the people who benefit from the oppressive system, are the ones who need to make a change to it. So no, y'all plan your escapes. If you need some help planning your escape, y'all know I got a checklist to help you move abroad. Move abroad checklist. And there are typos in this. Not a multitasker. So, oops, wrong URL. If you need a checklist, you are trying to figure out, where should I start? What are the things I need to do before I move abroad? Get the checklist. It is free. It will help you think of the things you didn't know you needed to think about. Okay. All right. Yes, Mia is up. I'm sure y'all can hear her jingle jangling back there. So yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Essence Fest is on Hulu. Um, this is a obvious, awesome way to celebrate, Monica. Um, so yeah, here's the thing. I take umbrage with the folks that are like, yes, it's bad in the US, but you need to stay and fight. As I used to say in my youth, the only thing I got to do is stay Black. Like, I don't have to do that. People leaving a place where they are not treated well, or they are not being successful, and trying to find a place where they could be. That is a story as old as time. Humans have always migrated. There are those who can fight the fight. Then there are those of us who go other places and find out, like, hey, this is a place that's safe for us to go. Both of those options are valid, but no, I ain't got to stay and fight. You can do that. This is how I am choosing to circumvent the system. Everybody's choices don't have to be the same. Thanks, Dion. I am proud of that checklist because, when I moved to Honduras, y'all, I was doing this all in the dark, trying to figure it out and think about. But that is also how my mind works. Rashida gives me a hard time for it, but I think it's because as my youngest daughter told me once when I asked, like, why is it you and your sisters always are asking me? Like, why y'all got a daddy? Why you don't ever ask him? And she was like, but you're the doer. You're the one who figures it out, and so it can get done. And so I kind of channeled that energy into, like, okay, if you're moving abroad, what are the things you need to look at? What are the things you need to consider? Also, my other talent in life is that I generally learn things the hard way, so y'all don't have to. So, taking my experiences of, oh, people should not do this because this does not work well because I have done it myself. I use that there too. Aw, Sandra, thank you. 50K by Christmas would be wild. That would really be wild. I'm open to it, but that would be wild, y'all. Yep. I feel the same way, Brooklyn Queen. I paid my dues. Like, I sacrificed so much for that job and the little bit of money they paid me to do it. I'm done. I'm done. Yep. I'm done. Ah. So, yes, if you are watching this, whether you're here live or you're catching this on the replay and you've watched through all that other stuff, but you are seriously thinking about leaving the US, but you're not sure where to start, grab the checklist, so that you can start to put things in place so that you can make your move. If a place doesn't work for you, the best thing you can do is leave. If you stay, it's like being in a dysfunctional relationship, 100%. And it is. And you should never, I'm not going to say you would never tell people to stay, because there are people that do that same thing. But no, you shouldn't tell people to stay someplace that is detrimental to their well-being. You absolutely should not. I always think about the quote, I am my ancestors' wildest dream, and America right now is what they dreamed. It is, Rhonda. I did not understand this to my best friend. I said something and she was like, "Oh no, I love that about you because you have saved my ass so many times." I didn't realize that that was my thing. And then when she pointed it out, I was like, I guess it is. Superpowers, they come in many shapes and sizes. They really, really do. Would you say, Nikki? I'm leaving soon. I struggle with feeling like a colonizer and doing to the locals what has been happening to us. I don't know. Did you see the live I did about, like, am I a colonizer? It was talking about, there had been this article published about the impact of digital nomads on Mexico City. And, you know, I think the conclusion I came to, the fact that I try to make conscious decisions, although I know that my being wherever it is I choose to be is always going to have an impact. I try to minimize the negatives associated with that impact and amplify the positives. So the fact that you are moving and cognizant of how you move already puts you on the right path and away from being a colonizer, because colonizers don't care about colonizing. They just do it. Absolutely. Oh no. We celebrated Juneteenth in Mexico City, and I have had no intention on celebrating the 4th of July. Um, but I knew being here in Cancun, where there are bound to be a lot of Americans, that that would be happening here. I'd be more exposed to it here than maybe in Mexico City. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Did you share what you've learned? Yeah. I it never occurred to me to like not share it. But I think again that that's part of my personality. And sometimes I share things people don't want to know. Um, I because I'm also a history and a geography nerd, and teacher mode comes on, and so if you're somewhere with me, I always got an interesting fact, some little tidbit. And one day Rashida was like, I opened my mouth and she was like, don't history me right now. I've had enough. So I'm always wanting to share whatever little mundane nonsensical thing it is I know. And hopefully I do more good with that than I do with bad. But yeah. So yes, I make the mistakes, and I don't want other people to fail too, because this mentality that like I suffered and I went through all this adversity and you got to do it too. Do we really have to do that? I don't like that energy. I don't like that energy at all. All right, y'all. It's time to wrap this up. Thank y'all for popping in and allowing me to do a little bit of celebrating. I don't know. I was gonna say I don't know that I'm someone that does that, but that's a lie, because on July 23rd, which is my expat anniversary. That is the date that I moved to Honduras, the first country I moved to outside the US. And it is also the day that I left China when I moved back to Mexico 4 years later or whatever. So July 23rd is when I celebrate being an expat. I was going to say I'm not someone to celebrate, but that's a lie, because last year I was like, I got to get a cake. And then this year, I reached out to folks and was like, hey, save the date. Don't know what we're doing, but there will be cake and we will celebrate. So that's a lie. I do like to celebrate, but maybe not always publicly. But I just am blown away that this YouTube channel that I did not want to start, uh, that 10,000 people were like, yeah, let me subscribe to that. That's, I think, more the thing that I'm blown away by. And this, thanks to Miss Yvonne McBride, this is like the icing on the cake. This is just amazing. So, I thought that needed to be marked in some way. It needed to be commemorated. So that's what this rambling live has all been about. Before I let y'all go, because I guess I do have one more thing, because I need to send out an email about this. On next week, Wednesday, the Get Started Investing Challenge is going to start. As I told you, I have made helping Black women master their money, take control of their finances. I see that as the path to freedom. You want to be able to live wherever you want. You want to be able to live the life you want. You got to understand your money situation. So that's why I am doing this challenge. And it starts next week. And I was going to try and find a link to drop, but I don't have it. I don't have it handy, which is horrible. That just tells y'all my brain is in vacation mode. Okay, hold on. I may have lied. I may have found the link. Okay, so if you or someone you know has been looking for a way, like You need to start investing. You got to do something with your money, but you don't know what's going on. Or like at your job, you know you're contributing to a 401k, but you have no idea what you're really doing. Um, this challenge might be for you, it might be for them. So I'm going to drop a link here. I'll put a link in the description. Um, I guess I should show y'all the link. 6 days. This is for newbies to investing or people who are confused. This is only open to Black women because it needs to, when you get into stuff like this, it can be a very vulnerable topic, and we need to make sure that the space is safe. So, okay. So I want to say that there. Okay, Rhonda, I did not know that the Buy Me a Coffee link isn't working. I'll look at that. It seems like none of my links like me right now. Okay. All right. So thank y'all for coming to kick it with me on a Saturday while I rambled about like a lot of nothing. But I appreciate y'all coming to hang out and chit chat. And what did Yvonne? Okay, this is where we'll end it with the illustrious Miss Yvonne McBride. The decision to fight or flee question has been a struggle for many of us for decades. If you've ever seen Paris Blues, it was Team Connie forever. When you tired, you tired. You are. That is right. That is right. That is right. Okay. So thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank you so much. Definitely, we would not all be sitting here if it was not for Miss Stephanie Perry. Absolutely not. All right. So I'm going to go and sit on the beach and drink some drinks and read a book. I want y'all to do something enjoyable today, whatever that is. If that's going to take a nap, go do that. I want you to do something enjoyable today. All right, y'all. Bye.